Meet the ex-Premier League hardman who became a professional artist. Former Premier League hardman Jody Craddock used to brush up against the world's best centre-forwards during his days as a no-nonsense centre-half with Sunderland and Wolves. But since retiring, he's swapped putting opposition players on the deck for dabbing paint on a canvas by becoming an extremely respected professional artist. Craddock, who spent 8 seasons in the Premier League across spells at the Stadium of Light and Molineux, hung up his boots in 2008. While most retired players tend to spend time on the golf course or qualify for their coaching badges, Craddock opted to pursue his second love, art. In an exclusive chat with Daily Star Sport, the 46-year-old talks about where his love of all things art first came from, the reaction of his teammates when they first found out, and whether or not John Terry really did commission a work from him. But first, given that a career in art stereotypically isn't the first port of call for a professional football, we asked the former Wolves man where his love of being creative first came from. Since I was a kid really, Craddock reveals. We didn't have computers, that makes me sound really old, but we didn't have computers. When it was raining I couldn't go outdoors and play football, so I just did some drawing, nothing serious, I just enjoyed drawing. Do you know of any footballers who embarked on an interesting career post-retirement? Let us know in the comments section. I think my dad could draw a bit, and my great-granddad would send letters out from the war to his wife and they would all be illustrated, so it's something that's always been in the family. My uncle could draw too. I think that's where the interest stemmed from. I'm the one that took it a bit more seriously. Craddock has been painting and drawing for more or less his whole life, including his early days after joining Cambridge United from Christchurch. I never set out to be an artist, he continues. I did A-level art, and I just scraped through, and although I enjoyed it, it was never the intention. Football was always number one. When I went to Cambridge, I couldn't afford the materials. I literally had a pencil and a bit of paper, so I did some drawing and a bit of sketching. It wasn't until I went to Sunderland and had a bit more money and time in the afternoon that it progressed. There was a program called The Joy of Painting with Bob Ross and he would literally do a painting in half an hour and I thought I could do that. I had a go, and clearly couldn't do it, but my nature was right, I'll teach myself how to do it. So I bought myself some oil paints, and just the more it progressed as a hobby the better it got. I started showing them to the lads, and it had a snowball effect. It was a hobby that got out of control. I love painting, I do it every single day. Craddock became a full-time artist at the end of his football career, and he admits it was effectively a case of his heart overruling his head. He continues, they overlapped slightly towards the end of my career. I was doing more exhibition-type things, not on a big scale, but my work was at a level where I could do exhibitions. Once I got to the end of my career, it was a question of do I go with my head and stay in football and do coaching and not see the kids at Christmas and school holidays, or do I go with my heart and following my second passion which was painting. In the week, I'll do 6, 7, 8 hours a day, every day, which I really enjoy. The former top-flight defender gets most of his work through commissions, which involves someone contacting Craddock and asking him to paint something on particular subject. Some reports online suggest he has even produced a commission for England and Chelsea icon John Terry. We put that claim to him, and he gave us an hilarious answer. No, Craddock laughs. I didn't get a commission from John Terry, but you can happily put it down if you want. I don't know where it came from. I did a painting of John Terry, and somebody bought it, and then somebody took the story and said oh John Terry's bought a painting. And I'm like nobody asked me, but it was all good publicity. I've done paintings for my teammates, the lads at Wolves and the lads at Sunderland, so yeah. It's always nice for the lads that you played football with to trust you to paint a picture of their kids or themselves celebrating a goal or something like that. I've done hundreds upon hundreds of different paintings, which has been great. Football and art are similar in the sense that they are both characterized by a variety of different styles. While football has tiki-taka and gegenpressing and the like, art has modernism, cubism, expressionism and many more. Craddock is more of a modern artist. He makes use of oil paints and infuses his work with what he describes as a graffiti twist. I'm an oil painter, that's my main thing, he tells us. My main stuff that I take to art fairs, my bigger stuff, is contemporary, modern, it's my statues with a graffiti twist. But then I also do smaller stuff. At the start of lockdown I had a tiny canvas and I'd do portraits. I'd use a magnifying glass and a tiny little brush. I did one of those for the fun of it, and they went through the roof. I've been doing hundreds of those as well. As I was learning I taught myself to do every type of art. I just enjoy art so much that I want to try different things, hence why I do different styles and techniques. But what does the future hold for Craddock, the artist? I've got 4 different art fairs this year in different places: Cheltenham, Ascot, Bath and another one somewhere else, he reveals. I do a lot of commissions which I have to do, and then in between commissions I top up my work which I'll take to art fairs and hopefully sell. That's the process and how it's worked for the last few years. It's great, I enjoy it. It's nice to go and meet people and sell my work to them and talk about and do all that. And what about his first love, football? Wolverhampton Wanderers still holds a big place in Craddock's heart, and he believes they're destined for a strong finish to the season. They've been brilliant, haven't they? Absolutely brilliant. Hopefully that continues through to the rest of the season, he enthuses. They've got a few players coming back from injury, which will only strengthen the team, and I seriously think they continue to improve, which is great for the fans. I think every team in the league must fear them because they're capable of beating any team in the league on their day. As an old Wolves player myself, I find it great to watch. You can check out all of Jody Craddock's collection on his official website, available here.